Welcome to this news hour on Equinoxe Television. I am Babla Jonathan in our top stories. In this edition of the news, the situation of the 29 survivors of the road accident at La Falaise in Chang, West region of Cameroon, is stable. The governor of the West region, our Fonka Augustine, has confirmed that though those severely injured who were transferred to Bafoussam are yet to be taken out of the red zone, their situation is stable. And we'll also be talking in this newscast about COVID-19. 33,000 confirmed persons confirmed to have tested positive for coronavirus. These are the last figures released by the Minister of Public Health in Cameroon. In Jombe, in the Mongo Division, Littoral region of the Republic of Cameroon, the people are sending distress calls to the administration to save them from the inconveniences of inadequate potable water supply. Taps have been running dry in that municipality for weeks. The governor of the West region of Cameroon, our Fonka Augustine, has confirmed that medical report showed that 23 survivors of the La Falaise road accident in Chang in the West region of Cameroon is stable. They are under medical attention in the Chang district hospital, and of course that is the locality where the accident occurred. Those who were severely injured were transferred to the Bafoussam Regional Hospital, though they are yet to be taken out of danger. Their situation is stable according to medical reports. The governor of the West region, our Fonka Augustine, confirmed that they are responding positively to treatment. In the meantime, Menu of Voyage Interurban Transport Agency has been suspended to further notice. This is information from administrative authorities in the West region of the country. And of course, we'll continue analyzing this situation. And the Minister of Transport has issued a release indicating that the accident that occurred at La Falaise has once more brought to the table the issue of night journeys, which has to be reconsidered and properly taken care of by the administrative authorities in charge of the transport sector. We'll be coming back to this in the second segment of this edition of the newscast on Equinoxe Television. The Minister of Public Health, Dr. Manauda Malachi, says that as of now, 33,000 persons have been tested positive for coronavirus in the country. He released this figure during the first cabinet meeting of ministers for the year, which took place in Yaoundé today, and more than 400 persons have died from the coronavirus pandemic. The Minister of Public Health, as well as other authorities, have continued calling on Cameroonians to continue respecting the anti-COVID-19 measures in order to prevent the spread of the virus in the country. The second wave of the virus is proving more deadly and is already killing in several African countries, with the South African variant already present in at least four other African countries. It is not yet present in the Republic of Cameroon. Now we talk about suspected thieves arrested on the National Highway number 3, notably around Bumyebel. Two gangs of suspected thieves were intercepted by elements of the Bumyebel Motorized Brigade of the National Gendarmerie. They are said to have been involved in illegal activities, notably stealing of goods from trucks along the highway. Some of them were caught with bags, about 5 bags of cocoa, which they are said to have stolen from a vehicle. Others caught with domestic gas, and they are said to have been involved in domestic gas trafficking in that part of the country. They are now in detention at the Bumniebel Motorized Brigade of the National Gendarmerie. Quarterheads in the Bamenda 2 municipality in the northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon have outlined a series of underdevelopment challenges affecting that area and making life quite difficult for inhabitants. And during a meeting with council authorities, they discussed strategies on how to enhance the development of the area amid insecurity emanating from the 4-year-long armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Stella reports from Bamenda.
As a benefactor donates to victims of the Presbyterian Secondary School Mancon fire incidents, the place suddenly went dark. It was a power cut. Also, inhabitants of Bamenda trek long distances on the dusty roads in search of water. Taps have gone dry in the city of Bamenda and basic necessities have become rare. Successive municipal authorities have come and gone, but the living conditions of the common man is not getting better.
We pray for an equitable distribution of projects in this municipality. We face difficulties with roads. We don't have roads leading to our village. Chomba, Batu, Songwa, let me crisscross. The roads leading to Chomba is horrible, and we leave there and come to town to work.
Water, now one of the situations where we really face right at home.
With the current socio-political and security crisis rocking the northwest and southwest regions, municipal authorities say carrying out of developmental projects has become an uphill task for they who have been in office for just 1 year.
We realize we've got a lot of security challenges in the northwest region as a whole, and my municipality team I think over the office, and with a lot of projects that the head of state has reviewed for this region and our municipality, we need to come together to dialogue to pave a way forward for us to realize this project. So we thought it very necessary that with the law of decentralization, we should involve everybody. That's why the quarterhead that the main stakeholders of development. So that's why we brought them together so we can share ideas on way to realize this project.
Mayor Peter Cheney and councillors of Bamenda 2 Council met with funds and quarterheads to brainstorm on best ways of executing projects allocated for the council area for the year 2021.
We are playing on the quarterheads to go back and negotiate and call their sons and daughters in the position to allow the council to bring development. Development is for everybody, the road is for everybody, land is for everybody, water is for everybody, it's not for a particular people. There's nothing like special when we get to development, so that allow the council to realize the project has been reviewed by the state.
While some opinions hold that a resolution of the ongoing crisis will be best for the two regions, other opinions hold that for the new strategy adopted to succeed, there should be increased local participation.
In a similar story, times have been running dry in Jombe, in the Mongo Division, littoral region of the Republic of Cameroon, and the people are sending distress calls to the administration and, of course, local administrators as well to rescue them from the inconveniences of inadequate potable water supply. Details with Fomi Armstrong Sander.
We are children and inhabitants of Njumbi, a town in the Mongo division of the littoral region of Cameroon, shouting and demanding the provision of potable water in the French language. They have been for over 2 weeks without the flow of potable water.
J'ai dit que ça fait déjà 2 semaines que nous on n'a pas l'eau en Njumbi.
2 weeks without water. We have suffered enormously. We have been for a month without water. We are now forced to fetch from wells and the Mbwele stream, with all the risk involved. Some for over 1 month, and the only available source they see is a doubtful one with enormous risk and complications. Some people fetch water from boreholes, and majority of us now fetch from the Mbwele stream, which is the source of diarrhea and dysentery suffered by most of our children. A chronic problem which has also left a negative psychological impact on students and pupils in the area. While in school, we are only traumatized about how to go back home and fetch water given the difficulties involved. Even while in class, we get thirsty, but there is no water to drink. Now we are preparing our exams with all the challenges. We suffer enormously.
Et on prépare des examens. C'est pas normal. Nous supplions que les autorités fassent quelque chose.
The people say they have been deceived by the mayor, who campaigned on the immediate provision of portable water and electricity.
Vous avez vu tout le Cameroun. Le maire a fait la publicité que après l'eau c'est la lumière.
Cameroonians also the campaign messages of the mayor promising the provision of portable water, but today the situation is as bad as yesterday. Everyone is obliged to drink from the Mbwele stream. Fathers, mothers and children all scramble at the same time to fetch water from there. The problem of portable water in Njumbe has been for over a decade, and successive administrations at the Njumbe Council have all failed to provide a lasting solution.
Now we open our sports page in this edition of the news with a shortage of tickets for the upcoming semi-final or quarter-final matches that will be played on Saturday, and of course this is provoking anger and frustration among fans, notably fans of the intermediate Lions of Cameroon, who are trooping to the ticket centers to not to have the so much desired document that will grant them access into the stadium. And of course the tickets are already available, but they are not being made available to the persons who desire to buy them, and this is provoking a serious problem here in Douala. Details with Equinoxe.
As the auxiliary Lions of Cameroon prepare to take on the Democratic Republic of Congo in the quarterfinal this Saturday at the Japoma Stadium, fans are eager to watch the encounter live. The overcrowded ticket sales centers to gain access into the Japoma Stadium come January 30th. At the Littoral Regional Delegation of Sports and Physical Education, officials indicate tickets for the Cameroon Democratic Republic of Congo encounter are not yet available, and patience should be exercised by the fans.
Nous ressentons ici la ferveur. Ils veulent être là, présents, qu'on ne leur dise pas.
We understand they are desperate to watch the match live. We assure them they will, but they should exercise patience. To avoid the sales of tickets in black markets, the authorities say measures have been taken in view of tracing sorted tickets, and this is through identification of buyers.
Les mesures, mais il y a aussi des mesures qui surpassent cela, c'est-à-dire que
everything has been put in place to ensure tickets afforded are solely for the buyers and not for other persons. Tickets are sold at the cost prices of 3,000 francs for encounters at the Japoma Stadium, 1,000 and 3,000 for encounters at the Douala Reunification Stadium.
Japoma et 3,000 francs Japoma disponibles. Dépendant, nous avons 1,000 francs et 3000 francs disponibles.
Since start of the Shan competition on January 16th, tickets are scrambled over like sprayed money. Reason for the shortage of tickets.
Ceci démontre à suffisance que le Cameroun est une terre de football.
We are amazed by this, and it has encouraged production and sales of tickets.
Cette passion, jusqu'ici nous avons la satisfaction totale.
The Shan 2021 tournament continues with quarterfinal games starting on Saturday, January 30th. Final has been scheduled for February the 7th.
The tickets are already available, but information streaming into our newsroom indicate that they are not being made available to the buyers or the fans, notably the fans of the intermediate Lions of Cameroon, in the way that they want it, and this is because of the procedures that are put in place to ensure that the selling of tickets unfold hitch-free and that those who buy are identified. Now coming up, Smanjik and Gabriel has updates on final Group D matches.
It was an end-to-end thrilling encounter that many who turned out at the Bepanda Omnisport Stadium on Wednesday watched between Tanzania and Guinea. They are teams from Group D of the competition of the African Nations Championship. Tanzania led the game right up to the 82nd minute when Guinea equalized, and that was the goal that catapulted them to the next stage of the competition. While Guinea was jubilating, it was the same jubilation that was witnessed at the Ngeme field in Limbe. Zambia played a goalless draw against their opponents of the day, Namibia. And at the end of Group D matches, there were 6 matches that were played in this group. We had 3 wins and 3 draws, a total number of 12 goals that were scored in these 6 matches that were played in Group D of the competition. At the end of group matches in Group D, it is Guinea first on the log that is going to return to Limbe to wait for Rwanda, who came out second of Group C, and Zambia, who turned out to be the second place team from Group D in Limbe. They will be traveling over to Douala to confront Morocco in the other quarterfinals games. It's done and dusted as all pairings for the quarterfinals are known. And just quick reminder, on Saturday we shall be having 2 games. The Ahmadou Ahidjo Stadium will be hosting Mali versus Congo, and the Japoma Sports Stadium will be hosting Cameroon versus the Democratic Republic of Congo. Sunday, Morocco is going to tussle it out with Zambia out here at the Bepanda Omnisport Stadium, and the same Sunday at the Ngeme Sports Stadium in Limbe, we shall have Guinea that will confront Rwanda. Reporting for Equinoxe Television News at the Bepanda Sports Complex, Raoul Tabufwe, Smart Njikangebre.
After the Guinea-Zambia final Group D encounter, the coach of Zambia spoke to the press. Take a listen.
The penalty is pushing them, the referee, so what should I do? Is the penalty? That was a penalty. Be honest. Yes, this is the referee. He's pushing, bring them in the match. No. I'm very happy with what we did, and congratulate the country for what they have done to organize. They organized very well, so we learned a lot. We got this experience. With my young team, they got this experience. The first word we lost a battle, not a war. We see how the big career in their life. They are young guys. Like this one, he scored. It's the first time for his life to wear the national team days. From under 20 to senior, and he can express this. So he got a big room to express himself, to expand his career.
That was rather the coach of Tanzania speaking to a reporters Manjik and Gabriel, who now presents to us the faces of the teams to play in the CHAN 2020 quarterfinals.
countries left in the African Nations Championship have played in the quarterfinals of this competition at least once. Amongst the countries left, Zambia is the most capped in terms of their appearances at the quarterfinals. CHAN Cameroon 2020 will be the 5th quarterfinals that the Zambian side will be playing. While host nation Cameroon, 2 times winners DR Congo, Mali and defending champions Morocco are in their 3rd quarterfinals appearance at this competition since its inception in 2009. Congo, Guinea and Rwanda are in their 2nd quarterfinals appearance. DR Congo and Morocco are the only sides still in the competition that have won the trophy. The Democratic Republic of Congo won in the inaugural edition in 2009 and 2016, while Morocco are defending the title they won in 2018 when they hosted. As the teams prepare to go down to the pitch this weekend for the quarterfinals encounters, Guinea and Morocco will be on record as the countries with the highest goals scored in the group stage of the competition. Both countries scored 6 goals in 3 matches, respectively.
Smanjik and Gabriel ending this first part of the news. Coming up next, Talking Point. Thank you for staying with us. We are receiving Akumanga Jaspal. He is a politician and member of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, CRM political party. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Babila, and it's a pleasure being here again once more. And greetings to all televiewers and that they should take part of this program.
Right after the accident at La Falaise in China, in the west region of the country, an accident which killed at least 53 persons and injured over 29 others who are in hospital. And according to information from the governor of the west region, they are responding to treatment. Their situation is stable. After that accident, the Minister of Transport issues a release and highlights the issue of night journeys.
Yeah, I think, Babila, this issue of night journey have been on the table many years ago. And one thing for sure is we need to first of all look at the root cause of the accident. If actually the root cause of the accident is the night journey or the state of the road, and equally we're talking about the falaise that you and I, we know it does not have the edges. We don't have might be what do you call it, some pillars at the edges in terms if any car had a brake failure. And moreover, to make it more clear, you bear with me that with the informations we have gotten at the level of the quarter, you come to discover that the truck was not the appropriate truck made for that particular operation.
The truck that was transporting fuel?
Yeah, the truck that was transporting fuel.
Fuel said to be coming from, said to have been imported from a neighboring country.
Yeah, okay, it was not the appropriate one. Then two, if you look well, you come to discover that we got some 2 uniformed men inside who are not identified up to date. We're talking of a custom officer and a gendarme officer in that same truck. But before the scene of the accident, they were no more in that same car anymore. A question mark.
Information reaching us indicate that they were escorting the truck.
Yeah, normally.
And the question is, how can officers who are expected to enforce the law be escorting a truck transporting fuel, a truck which is not supposed to be transporting that kind of product?
I think the problem here is we are Cameroonians, we are in Cameroon, and knowing very well that the system in place whatever they do, if it favors them and does not favor the citizens of which you and we are, everything is fine. Now, if you look well, we have pre-job planning and we have the risk assessment, of which before you do any job, you assess the risks of that job, meaning these officers are there to escort. You have a place there where explosives are being kept at Dibamba. One day, I would invite personally Equinoxe to visit that area. You will come to discover that it is not a proper area. The measures put in place for you, the distance where you have to off your telephone before you get in. But these officers, where they are there, and knowing very well that they are exploiting, transporting explosives like these reactor stuffs, of which if you make any error within transit, it can explode. But when these guys are there, they'll ask others like you and I to off their cell phone, but they are doing their calls inside. But now the problem is this: if officers are in this car actually transporting foil in a car that was not appropriate, that is the first cause. They were supposed to be assured that this car is up to date, but knowing very well that in in Cameroon where we are, you have cars that are running, they have what we call visit technique, and they have all documents of the car, of which the procedure of obtaining a visit technique, you must get to their machine, they control your car before they give it. I just doubt if some of these cars, like in those days we were talking of cargo, etc., if they really merit the documents they have, and by the time there is an incident, is it the system in place to be accused, or the driver, or the car? But the problem for me is when the base is not solid, then any other thing will be possible, meaning the system is encouraging bribing and corruption. And for that reason, it is very, very proper and okay for us to see whatever type of car moving without the appropriate document. Because if not, you bear with me, these guys, they stay at home, they make phone calls to have their visit technique for their cars. And this visit technique, I recommended in one of the television channels that we should do it, why not twice a month, or might be monthly? Reason being, if you come for instance, personal cars, they obtain their visit technique once a year. When you got the document, you have the whole year that this document covered your car, of which within the whole year, from January to December, like seriously, my brother, the state of your car from January to December is not same again, but the document is still there, proving that all is well. So by so doing, it becomes so difficult, and it is a drama, a sort of drama at the level of CRM where we are. For me, I see it as a sort of drama today, beaten beside the bush that they want to see about night journey. Some years behind, we have discussed about this night journey issue here.
And before we go further to talk about this issue of night journeys, you rightly indicated that the officers, the gendarme and the custom officers, have not been identified till now because they disappeared after that accident, and we are told that they were escorting the truck. We don't know if they were in the truck or they were in their own vehicle and escorting the truck. And another question that comes up here is, because it is actually the fact that the vehicle was transporting fuel that sparked the flames and that consumed everything and killed most of the people who were simply burnt to death. The fuel coming from a neighboring country had to go through the border where there are custom officers, there are security officers, pass through the northwest until it got to that area in the west region of the country. So it's difficult to understand here how something of this nature, something illegal, could have passed through all the control right up to that point.
I talked of the root cause here from the beginning of my statement. If you don't know the root cause, whatever you do, like seriously, you will not find any work. Coming back to talk of the officers we have in Cameroon, Babila, bear with me, You can take a stolen car from Douala to Bamenda if your pockets are full, of which the system encourages this. I'm struggling to make it clear. When you have the means, you can steal somebody's car without any documents. If you have your 500 times the number of controls we have at the road, it is possible to leave from here to Bamenda. I'm just like saying, leaving from the neighboring village, coming in with the foil, one, using a car that is not an appropriate car is already the first problem. Two, the officers on duty who accepted such a car to get onto service actually is an issue equally. And now, from where they left to where they were at the Falaise of Chang, they must have gone a lot of kilometers to reach there, and they have other police control, gendarme, etc. on the way. So you bear with me that what I'm saying is, if you have the means to settle this control, the state of the car, as of now, okay, coming back, we have this issue, this permanent issue that had to do with accident. We have this routine, these guys who are, they have the cameras, or what they call that, their name?
Radar.
Yeah, the radar stuff. From here to Yaoundé, sometimes you meet even two posts where they are. But rest assured that you have some particular cars that when they pass, the speed they use is not the speed demanded, and then they recommended, and equally when they go where there are speed breaks, and then they limit. Or another one equally is this signs, the board we have, the signboard to indicate actually that at this level there is a breach at this level. Sorry, this without calling names of company, like a sort of publicity. The company that works the road, for instance, here in Douala, it is a mess. I do teach drive safe, French people call it conduite défensive. There is a problem with all the runabout we have. Let me go for instance in Bonaberi, and you have the runabout at Bonasama. When you are coming from Bonaberi to Wrong Point, on your right, you will see a boat with with a triangle turned upside down, and each where you see a triangle turned upside down, it shows a sign called Céder le passage, that allowed way. And now the problem here, Babila, is coming from Bonaberi, there is Céder le passage, and then he coming from Kami Toyota, you will see Céder le passage at your right. Somebody coming from Bonasama, still to meet at that Wrong Point, there is Céder le passage.
All of them are out
he coming from Wrong Point, there is Céder le passage. At the end of the day, who is giving way to who? That is a wrong job. I have proven it. I've given a report on that, and nothing has been done. So at the end of the day, you don't even know who had to give way. This stuff is being put to the the second entrance, meaning people who are supposed to give way. You have Bonasama coming, need to give way, because this is the main way, Wrong Point, Bonaberi. He coming from Kami Toyota have to give way. But if you have all this four junction having, at the end of the day, what did you expect from the driver? Confusion. And now you get to the Falaise to Chang, you see signs, grass will grow and lock the boat, and you expect the driver, somebody who is new on that road, like seriously, something needs to be done with the system we have in place.
And the topography of the area is very difficult. At the same time, the road is quite narrow. The road is quite narrow at that area. And I'm asking the question, is it not better in that area? It may demand a lot of money to make a kind of dual carriage road there, where you have 2 lanes on one side and 2 lanes on the other side, and then something in the middle. Because if this was the case, it would have been difficult for the truck to cross over the line and then meet the bus on the other road, on the other side of the road.
Yeah, it's easier said than done. Knowing very well the ministers we have in Cameroon, of which each person going up there want to make money for he and his family. You know, nothing good for the nation, but all what the thing is about they and themselves only. It is very difficult for one to have a project. Like the head of state we have in place have not carried no project. I'm sorry, I heard one of my colleagues saying that one of the best things he have realized is his marriage with the First Lady, Chantal, meaning all what we were expecting. The project today...
is that not hyperbolic? Is that not gross exaggeration to say that the head of state had no project for his country for the past close to over 4 decades? And what about all the things that he has done here and there?
All the things of which we can name them, which of the above, knowing very well that most of these things are projects that were already in place, and he is just executing the job that somebody already project on. Now, today, where is his own project? The problem here, like seriously, coming back to the Fales Chang, it is very possible to do something really national. When we talk of the national road, one, the size, the width is not the appropriate width. And when you come to, like, for instance, Bonaberry, you talk of the national road. The one we are seeing, we call it national road. Like, seriously, 4 cars cannot move in the middle part, not to talk of 2. And at the end of the day, if we want to do something like that at the Falaise, it is very possible. But then, I'm sure that the documents the head of state is having on his decks shows that that is the type of road we have in place, of which, knowing very well that he is one of those grandfathers that does not go down to see what is happening there in the field, it becomes so difficult to go and to really testify and be sure. Well, so might be the document shows that the road is what you and I were talking of. You know what I mean?
Something should be done nationally to prevent the recurrence of accidents on our highways. The night journeys that the minister mentioned that should be brought back to the table and properly taken care of. What should be done about the night journeys?
No, night journey for me as of now, I have no problem with night journey. At the level of my party, we have no problem with the night journey. Reason being, you have a lot of Cameroonian citizens living at that area that with the night journey they can facilitate 1 or 2 things. What we need is this: the drivers, the system, that's the government needs to put a system in place in order to, you know, control the speed limit, 1. 2, put appropriate uniformed men who are there to work for the nation and not to work for they and their family. 3, the cars that we use there, the visit technique, etc., should be in good condition. And again, drivers should have appropriate rest, meaning they put a system in place whereby a driver should not leave Douala with intentions of going to Bamenda and rushing back the same day because he want to make money. So this is actually where, just imagine, if you drive from Douala to Bamenda and happen to come back the same day, what are we expecting? And look at the number of persons. You have 70 seaters. If you carry 70 seaters and you risk the life of these people. So for me, night journey have no issue because actually it do help a lot of Cameroonians to meet up with their obligations, the program of their work and business, etc.
But should some rules not be put in place to make sure that, because the minister used the word encadre to mean that it should not be banned, but it should be properly organized?
Yeah, actually, you bear with me. In Cameroon, anything new, when anything comes up at the beginning stage, they will always, everybody would draw attention towards that. There was an issue of Boko Haram in some years behind, where you got these transport cars. Each car would at least 2 military men inside. From Douala Yaoundé, night journey. I guess you recall something of such within that moment of Boko Haram. And this issue have just died down. I'm struggling to say what, if they bring back that system whereby you put military men in these cars to control the driver and the speed limit, on this night journey, not an issue of Boko Haram. Like seriously, there will be a change on the way things are being done. We should propose ideas of ameliorating the system, not bounding what is already in place. They accepted night journey, and today they want to bound it. Like seriously, you have a lot of people who will profit on this. If they put these uniform men in each car, let's say we put 3, of which they are not there to collect money and allow the driver to do whatever he wishes, for the passengers and the drivers to have some cordial, relationship in the car for when traveling, because sometimes you equally have passengers who talk very rudely to drivers.
All right, Akumanga Jespal, that is it. According to you, military men should be put in the buses, but some would likely tell you that it may be too costly for the states to do that. Thank you. You're from the CRM political party. Thank you for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. This is where we draw the curtains on this edition of the news. Equinoxe is up next.